Hello, YouTube. Alright, so I, like many 2003 to 2007 Accord owners, wanted to have an auxiliary input in my car, and if you own one of these cars, you probably already know that one of the single biggest complaints about the interior of these cars is that they do not have an auxiliary input, even though every single one of them has a button that says aux, which would suggest that there is an auxiliary input somewhere. And if you've looked into this, you probably also know that you can get a little box similar to this one that will plug into where your CD changer plugs in down under here. So, and if you're like me, you probably have, or if you've watched videos, you've probably already figured out how to get all of this stuff apart. So I'm not bothering to show you that. There's other videos that show you how to get all this apart. But I found that when I took all this apart and plugged it in and started it, turned the radio back on, that the first time it did not, when I pushed this CD aux button, what it should do when this is hooked up is switch. Well, there we are. So what it should do when this is hooked up, when you push it, it should flip over to CDC. If you have a disc in, it should also flip to that automatically, and then you can switch back to your AM/FM just by pushing the AM/FM button. But when I first hooked it up, this did nothing, and I was very disappointed. So what I did, I decided, well, maybe the radio needs a reset to recognize this device, and indeed it does. So what you need to do, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this at all. Oops, sorry about the light, but the blue connector you saw there, that needs to come out. So if you pull the blue connector out, leave it out for a couple of seconds, probably about 5, just long enough so that when you plug it back in, your clock is reset. That's kind of the test, If when you plug it back in, your clock goes back to the correct time, you didn't leave it unplugged long enough. While it is unplugged, that is when you need to plug in this guy here. This is the cord from my adapter into the back of the radio. So this adapter is supposed to emulate the CD changer, and mine does not have the CD changer, so I'm not going to plug anything into this pigtail off the adapter. So once you have the blue connector under there unplugged, which you don't need to remove this radio to do that. It is a bit of a tight squeeze, but if you've got fairly good dexterity in your hand, you should be able to pull that blue plug out just far enough to cut the power. I mean, you'll see the screen go off. You should be able to pull that out, plug in this plug here, and then put the blue plug back in, and then it works. So the radio does absolutely need that reset for it to work. So now I'm just going to put all this mess back together. I have, as many people have suggested, just drilled a little hole in the bottom of my box here, in the bottom of the little storage compartment, that the auxiliary cable will come up through, and then I should be able to plug my phone into this and play. And I have tested this. It does work. At least right now. I had another auxiliary adapter that was considerably cheaper, Chinese built, who knows what, and that quit after about a month. So I'm hoping that this one lasts a little bit longer. So that's it for this video. Hope I helped you out some.